here on the live streaming community every single Tuesday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time or 2 p.m. Pacific Time. I'm really excited to be here with all of you today. Thank you so much for showing up, for your energy. Let me introduce myself a little bit for those of you who maybe have never seen me before. If you maybe have no idea of who I am, my name is Cecily. I am Cuban, which is why I go by that Cuban girl, also because I'm really proud of my roots. I live in Los Angeles in beautiful Southern California, and I've been here for the last 10 years. And what do I do here? Well, I am a model. I do a little bit of everything in entertainment, honestly, but I do mainly modeling right now. And I really love it. And if you go and connect with me on Instagram at Cicely Marin, which my amazing admin Emoji J is going to drop it in the comment box soon. You can see everything I do, everything I'm about. I'm very active on Instagram, so that's a really good and fast way to connect with me if you want to connect with me. So, yeah, and the reason I do own it is because I love bringing everything I've learned in life to the live streaming community. That could be, it could be tips, it could be like, tips on confidence, empowerment, or it could just be me telling you things about entertainment, or mainly the intention with Own It is for you and I to become the best versions of ourselves through owning the uniqueness of who we are. I always say it here, but I believe that we're all very unique in very different ways, and everyone has a story that is worth hearing and worth learning and worth sharing. So hopefully you can learn either from me or my two guests today. I do have a couple of disclaimers before we officially get the show started. And number one, this is a featured show. So featured shows, I'm sure you're familiar with them. They're a little bit different in the way that they run, which means we don't usually are allowed to acknowledge everyone individually as the show is running, just out of respect for the guests. But also, we don't do profanity, so please, keep it respectful on the chat, or respectful towards myself. And the other thing I want to say is, do stay towards the very end of the show, because something I like doing every Tuesday during the show is whoever is my top gifter of the stream becomes my newest bouncer, just as a thank you. And I welcome that person into my community. And the other announcement I want to say is that I am going to be part of an auction on April 12th. And so, I'm going to be streaming from here till then. We still have a little bit more of a month, we're a little bit like a month away from it, but it's going to be a name change, as you guys know. So just wanted to put that out there, and welcome to Own It. If you are just tuning in right now, welcome to this featured hour with me, that Cuban girl. And let me tell you a little bit. If you see me looking down the ways, because I'm reading my notes, but let me run you a little bit as to how the show is going to go. So first, I'm going to invite my first guest into the chat box. Appreciate you into the chat box. And then sorry guys, I know we're not allowed to get super excited, but thank you. That was my first one. I appreciate you so much. So sorry guys, I got a little thrown up. Okay, first of all, I'm going to invite my first guest into the chat box, and then after I have a conversation, after that, I'm going to give you the quote of the day, which has to do with the topic of the day, which I'm about to share with you before we get started, okay? So hold on for that. Then after the quote of the day, my second guest is going to jump in the box, and then shortly after that, I'm going to give you the tip of the day, and consecutively, last but not least, is going to be both my guests back in the guest box for final thoughts, ideas, shout outs, and one very important question that I ask every single one of my guests at the end of the show, because it has to do with the show's name, and I'm always curious to know what they think and everything. Okay, so that is the rundown of how the show is going to go. Also, of course, in between, I'm going to be giving shout outs to my top gifters. So a lot that we have going on today on the show. But before I call and I invite my first guest into the shop, into the guest box, excuse me, you guys, woke up really early today, I must say. So, the topic of the day is balancing streaming with IRL with real life. If you don't know what that means, just the streamer lingo. And the reason I chose that topic today is because both my amazing guests have a lot that they are balancing in life. They're both parents. One is a parent of a special needs kid, and the other one is a parent of three beautiful kids as well. I'm trying not to give too much information before I introduce you guys, but they have a lot that they're balancing in life, and they're both streamers. And me, I'm not really the greatest at balancing streaming with real life, so I want to know how they do it, right? And a lot of you guys here, I'm sure, also want to know how a lot of people do it and balance all these things that they're doing. So that's why I chose this topic today. I'm also balancing not just streaming, but a lot of other things at the same time. And I'm doing my best to learn, and I can also learn from all of you guys. So, with that said, thank you so much for being here. Welcome to Own It. If you're just tuning in, do me a favor and hit that favorite button so you don't miss any of the shows. This show is a feature show, happens every single Tuesday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time, 2 p.m. Pacific, where I have two amazing guests. We both share, sorry, the three of us share our stories, and basically the intention with Own It is so you and I can become the best versions of ourselves through owning the uniqueness of who we are. I believe that only through owning who we are truly, we can then be successful and advance and grow in our lives, right? I do want to invite you to connect with me on Instagram, connect with me on TikTok at that Cuban girl Sicily, and mainly Instagram, because that's where I am usually most of my time. Okay, the fastest way to connect with me is on IG. But with that said, you guys, I want to introduce. Let me see who's going to go first. Okay, got it. Perfect. Just how I have it written down. Oh, I guess just kidding. But all right, cool. 1 second. My first guest today is a single father of three beautiful girls whom he has custody of. He loves to cook, he loves to dance, and he loves to spend time on the app. He is the host of Bulldog's Kitchen Cook-Off on Saturdays at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Please, everybody, welcome to Own It, Bulldog.
Hi, thank you for
Hi.
having me.
Good, how are you? You're welcome. You're not driving, right? Because we're not allowed.
No, I'm actually, I was explaining to Jay, they dropped mandatory overtime on us and we couldn't get out of it. So I'm sitting in my truck for a few minutes to come out here and do this so I didn't cancel on you.
Well, I appreciate you being here. Yeah, as long as you're not driving, we're all good. Thank you for being here. I know that I did a little bit of an introduction already, but is there anything else that I haven't said that you want to let everybody know about you?
Basically, yeah, I'm a single father of three girls. I raised them on my own for quite a while. I do Bulldog Kitchen Cook Off. I do most streams where I actually cook, and so yeah,
So I
that's
want to
pretty much.
know, being a father of three girls, are they young?
No, they're actually 20, 15, and my youngest is about to turn 14 on St. Patrick's Day.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So how do you do it? How do you do it all?
Well, my 20-year-old helps out a lot.
I'm
Uh,
sure.
yeah, she spends a lot of time with her sister. She helps them out through a lot. Uh, but it was a struggle because my two youngest ones, they are such daddy's girls. So when I leave the house, they were always crying, arguing, fighting, wanting to go with me, and they couldn't. And now they're teenagers, and yeah, it's rough. Yeah,
I'm
because
sure.
now they're into boys and stuff like that. So it's really hard.
Oh boy. So how do you I'm trying to uncomprehend because I personally never had my father in my life. and you are like the opposite, where like you have custody of your girls. So that's like such a different dynamic, right? So I'm just curious, how, in your opinion, you don't have any boys, right?
No, all
So
girls.
in your opinion, being a father of three young women, how do you think that is a little bit different than like maybe potentially having a boy around?
Um, well, I have a lot of friends who have boys, and they are trouble. My girls, they are they are very well, behaved. I mean, they give a little issues, but all kids do. But it has been a struggle with me because them growing up and starting to come into womanhood and stuff like that, and having to figure that out. If it wasn't for my four sisters, I would have probably been in trouble.
Okay, okay,
So
okay. That's
so
awesome.
yeah.
Yeah, and I was asking you that because I know we women can be like a handful growing up, and I'm just here wondering, you're a streamer. I'm sure you have a day job, I'm sure. So how do
Well,
you balance it all?
Well, me and my daughters, since they were little, we've always had a daddy daughter day where I take one out on their own and do so. When I stream, I try to schedule around that so that, they still get their daddy time and I still get my time to do what I want to do. They can go do what they want. So we do a daddy daughter day where me and one of the girls will go out one day, skip a day, and then me and one of the other girls will go out, and then on third, and then on Sundays we always have a family day. So we make sure that we have time for each other and spend time with each other. We they get, like I said, they're teenagers now, so they've gotten more into wanting to do things on their own. But I feel great that I've raised them right, that they still find time to want to do things with daddy. They know I'm always here. I'll always be there. I'll be that number one guy in their life. But I will say, for a guy raising daughters, it's really hard because you have it's kind of like a written rule, because you want your daughters to end up with somebody great, somebody better than you, and everything like that. So every day, every step you take, you're thinking, okay, how do I do this without my daughter thinking I'm a bad guy? Because you want them to find the perfect guy, the guy that's going to be, you know, basically you, but better. So, so yeah, so I try to teach my daughters how men are supposed to treat women. And so every day in my mind, I'm always saying, okay, now is this how I want somebody to treat my daughter? So, yeah.
That is so important that you're so aware of that. So thank you for sharing that with all of us here. We all learn from each other. That's why I love doing this show, because we all have different stories and things that we share. So I want to know, how did streaming come about for someone like you who's so busy and a single dad?
Well, when I started realizing my girls were becoming teenagers and they wanted to do more and stuff like that, I was sitting at the house by myself. My brother, mischievous, was like, dude, come to this app and, like, get on and hang out. And I got to watching, and I was like, you know what? This ain't for me. So I left the app, and then I came back last year and started watching other people, and got into it really well, and done pretty good for myself. And I got to the point where I meet people and I'm like, dude, y'all make me want to be here. So I've tried to get a schedule going where I still have time for work, I still have time for my kids, and I still have me time where I can get on here and cut up, have fun, cook, because I love cooking with a passion. So getting on here and cooking for other people just makes my whole day.
Oh, you and I talked about it the other day. I don't know if you remember, and you were like
Yeah,
trying
I
to
remember.
invite me to your show, and I was like, I'm not trying to commit to something I'm not good at, which is cooking. I'm like,
Yeah. Well,
no, but I
we
love
also have judge positions where you can judge people cooking.
that. Okay, okay, okay. But how do they judge it if they can't taste it?
Okay, so we base it off of creativity, what you do to put your own twist on it, how you do it, how you deliver your presentation, talking to people while you're cooking, keeping that audience going and knowing. So it's basically, your creativity, your delivery, and then basically just more or less how you present the whole thing. So that's how we do that. We're working on other things. We're also working on like getting a point system to be able to do it that way for like seasonings and stuff like that. So
That
it's
makes
still work. It's still work in progress, but
okay, okay, fine. If you need a judge, I'll be there.
okay, okay.
No, but thank you so much. That was awesome. And shout out to your boy. What was it, Mischievous? I favored him. He
Yes,
seems amazing.
he
Um,
is a very good guy.
yeah. So I just want to ask you before I let you go, unless you have anything else you want to add, but I just want to ask you, how do you, besides having the day, the daddy daughter day, and that way, that's how you schedule your streams. Is there anything else that you do in life that you want to share with us to balance it all?
Okay, so I get really stressed out a lot, and I've got to take time for myself. So there is one thing in this whole world that always helps me forget about everything going on, relaxes me, makes me feel good, and that is just riding up to the local club or something and dancing. I love to dance. So when I get out there on that dance floor, nothing else matters. No bills, no kids, no nothing. And yes, there is also gaming, but it don't take dancing away. So I love to dance. I've been voted one of the best dancers in 3 counties where I live. So I take pride in that.
I love that. I love dancing too, so I'm totally with you on that. Awesome. Well, any shout outs for your show?
Yeah, we are going to do a special edition this weekend. We got a Mad Hatter and Jubilee going to battle against each other because they've been back and forth on who's going to win and who do this. So I'm going to actually be judging this weekend 2 other cooks, and then the winner of that is actually going to come on the show the following Saturday and actually go against me. So it's a new kickoff. It's something that we want to try to get other people interested in doing it. But yeah, it's it's the viewers, the supporters, and the friends the connections that make you want to do this. So every chance I get where I can actually be on here, even if it's just sitting in somebody's stream and supporting them, I want to be on here. So I love it. It's great, and it does help a whole lot to relax. There are like everyday struggles that keep you from wanting to be on here and stuff like that with drama and stuff like that. But basically, the way I look at it is let's stay positive. Let's keep them good vibes. Let's keep moving because you never know who that next person is going to come by and make your whole day.
100%. Thank you so much for that and for the positive energy and vibes, Bulldog. I would love to have you come back. I know you're gonna drive away, but love for you to come
Yeah,
back.
actually, I have to go back inside and work.
Oh my
I,
gosh, you're working. Well, never mind that. Thank you. I appreciate you being here. You're amazing. And yeah, let me know and I'll support your show. I won't cook though, but
hey, you're good. But before I go, have a great stream, and I enjoyed you bringing me on your show and let me come. And I hope you have a very good stream.
thank you. I appreciate you being here. Ah, thank you so much. You're the best. You didn't have to do that. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Everybody go favorite Bulldog, show him some love, and make sure that you go check out his cooking show and best vibes to you. Thanks again. I loved having
Yes, thank you
you.
for having me.
Okay, bye. Um, so you guys, well, so far, I think he's number one. Thank you. You're amazing. I usually do this at the end of the show, but what I'm going to do now is I'm going to make Bulldog my newest bouncer because so far he's number one and he's just supported the show so much. But don't worry, stay tuned because at the end of the show, whoever is my second top gifter is also going to become my bouncer. I'm just gonna do that today because I appreciate you guys and appreciate the support. And yeah, I just want to do that. So let me look for Bulldog real quick and make him my newest bouncer. Thank you for the support, Bulldog. Appreciate you. And welcome to my bouncing fam. So with that said, you guys, this was amazing. Um, I just want to say that, this show really always puts my spirits high. It always like makes my day on Tuesdays, and that's why I do my best not to miss it unless I absolutely have to. Thank you guys. You guys are all amazing. So I need to, before I go on, I want to give a shout out to my top supporters. I'm receiving so much love today. I'm kind of speechless, you guys. Thank you. That's so sweet. You guys are so sweet. Um, I do want to do a shout out to my top gifters of today. So I'm going to do top seven. Number seven, Kuwai's Floating Shelf. Number six, Gifster. Number five, King Goober. Thank you. Number four, Gary's Little Spoon. Number three, Mischievous. Number two, wait, there's two Mischievous. Oh no, wait. Number three, Mischievous Little. Can't say it. But number two, Mischievous. And number one, my guest, my first guest of the day, Bulldog. Everybody go check out his show, Bulldog's Kitchen, on Saturdays at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. You guys, thank you for being here. Thank you so, so, so much. We're not done with the featured hour. We're just beginning. We're about to be almost halfway. But I do want to say thank you to all of you who are tuned in, who are watching the show, for the hearts, for the favorites, for the comments, for the gifts. I appreciate it all. Like Bulldog said earlier, this wouldn't be possible without you guys' love and support and energy and all the things. So I'm always grateful, so grateful to you guys. The other thing I want to say is make sure to connect with me on Instagram. I think Emoji J has been dropping my IG down here. It is the fastest way to connect with me. And then last but not least, stay towards the end of the show because I still have one more person who is going to be my newest bouncer. And that's just me saying thank you for the love and the support. So moving on with the show today. Today's topic is balancing life, I guess, balancing streaming with real life. And, guys, this has been like the struggle of my life, of, the last year and a half. That's been my own personal struggle. I'm trying to balance like all these things that I'm doing in my real life between entertainment, like modeling, content creating, also the spirituality, because for me spirituality and my spiritual practices are really, really important. So I've been trying to balance so many things in my own life that I basically just made it the topic of the day because I need to learn from you guys what you guys do to balance streaming with real life. So the quotes that I have for you all before I invite my second guest to the stream. Is my second guest ready? She here? The quote that I want to share with you guys is something that, it called my name. Is this you? Is this you, my second guest? It called my name. It really called my name because it just did. It really resonated. And I'm going to read it for you, okay? There's no such thing as work-life balance. It's all life. The balance has to be within you. There's no such thing as work-life balance. It is all life. The balance has to be within you. The reason I chose this quote is because for me, personally, particularly, very individually, and in my own opinion, you need to be balanced inside of you in order to have balance in your life, whatever that means to you. So for me, it's like shout out to Zach. Thanks for checking out the show, Zach. For me, having balance in life in general has to come from within, right? It has to be something that you really work on and that you really feel. That way you can be the best version of yourself in other areas of your life, whether it's as a streamer, whether it's you're at your job, whatever it is that you're doing. And I know I'm not supposed to, Zach, but thank you. Appreciate you. So with that said, like my first guest just said, it's really important for us to have balance, especially if you're a parent, like he was mentioning earlier. If you have a job, if you do all these things, like how do we balance ourselves? And for me, like for example, a lot of people find that balance here on the streams because you feed off of everyone's energy and you recharge, right? But what is it exactly that means to you? And for me, like the quote said, it it means just balancing yourself from inside, like doing things that really recharge you, balance your energy, make you happy, which is also part of being balanced, right? So you can then give that great part of yourself to other people, correct? And as streamers too, I don't think, I know we share so much energy that we need to recharge, we need to plug in to something to feel balanced, and I think all of that comes from within us, right? So for me, earlier today, I actually went to the beach, and I drove to the beach in the morning, and I just walked by the water, and then I saw some sea lions getting freed. They had been rescued a couple months ago, and they freed them today, and all of that is very recharging, and for me personally, it gives me balance. So what is it for you that makes you more balanced in your life? And that's something that I really would love for you to think about, and kind of yeah, just think about, and kind of realize, right? So everyone who just is tuning in, welcome to Own It. Welcome to this featured hour with your girl, that Cuban girl. This show happens every single Tuesday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time or 2 p.m. Pacific Time, exclusively here on the live streaming community of Meet Me. This show of Own It is, its intention is for you and I to become the best versions of ourselves through owning the uniqueness of who we are, because I believe that we are all unique and we all have a unique story to tell. It doesn't matter who we are, where you come from. We all have a story that deserves to be told. And it doesn't matter if you're like me in entertainment, or if you are an accountant, or if you're a parent. It doesn't matter who you are, what it is. Everyone deserves to share their story, because we're all different and equally unique. All right. So welcome to Own It. This is a high vibes show. And yeah, we are about to go and meet my second guest of the day. Emoji, is she around? Can my second guest request the guest box, please? Is she around? Is she around? Is she here? All right, perfect. So let me introduce my second guest of the day today. She is a single mom of two girls with special needs. She's in the medical field, and she's also an advocate in her hometown for those with special needs as well. She loves to sing, she's passionate about cooking, and loves spending time with her friends. Please, everyone, welcome to the stream. Well, right now your username is Kawaii's Floating Shelf, but it's XOXO Mama?
That's correct. I have a name change right now.
Hi, I know. That's why I was so confused. I was like, where is she? Is she here? I don't see her.
Yeah, my best friend changed my name, so that's what I got.
No worries. Well, welcome to Own It. I'm so happy to have you here.
Thank you.
So I introduced you a little bit, but I want you to kind of tell everyone, because when you wrote in your bio, you seem really proud of having a mom with of special kids need kids, and you're also an advocate. So I want you to talk to us a little bit more about that.
So I have two girls. I've been a single mom for years, but I have one that's completely deaf. She has cochlear implants now, but she has definitely had a journey the past few years with her implants and learning how to talk, and she's in kindergarten. She is my Spitfire. She keeps me on my toes. And everybody in my stream knows her because they hear her all the time when I'm streaming. And then I have an older daughter. She just turned 12 on Sunday. She has autism. And she's more of my laid back, really quiet, kind of just sits back in the limelight. She doesn't like a lot of attention. So not very many people know her, but my UW family definitely know her by heart.
I love that. I love that. I know a little bit about the this is gonna sound silly, but I know about the cochlear implant because of The Bachelor, because there's a girl on The Bachelor right now that has it.
Correct.
She talks about it all the time.
Yeah.
So do you think that that's personally like as much as of a challenge? You think that makes it really, really challenging for her?
I think it's more challenging for me sometimes than it is for her because she doesn't really let it keep her down. She goes 100 miles a minute, but I've definitely had to learn as a parent how to maintain being a mom and being her friend because I'm her main communicator and advocate for anything that she needs.
Yeah, that makes sense. So when you say that you're an advocate for special needs community in your hometown, what does that mean exactly?
So I work with the deaf and blind school that's here in my town, and meeting new parents that are going through the process of dealing with children with hearing, hard of hearing, and hearing loss. Because sometimes it can be really hard on parents that are just grasping the understanding that their child can't hear like most kids their age.
Okay. Do you think that people need to be more aware of these things and kids and situations?
Yeah, especially like where I live, it's not as common. There's not as many kids here. Most of the kids that go like to the one of the schools, the deaf and the blind, they're from out of town. They actually stay on campus. So the hearing loss population where I live is really minimal when it comes to kids under the age of 10. And I was unaware of it until I had her. I didn't know no sign language at all. And so it's something I've had to learn and try to teach other people so they're more aware of it in their surroundings.
Okay. So do they know you stream?
No.
What do they think you do?
So most of them know me for being in the medical field. A lot of my patients that I've dealt with since having her, I can now sign with them if they're deaf. I don't know all the medical jargon, but I'm able to at least survive some of the stuff that they need to know with sign language. But as far as parents that I deal with, they know that I blog on my Facebook, which is like my personal stuff, but I blog, so they follow that. And then I also write journals, and I share a lot of my journal details when I go to these meetings with parents, just to kind of give them an outlook on how to deal with it as they're going through the process.
That makes sense. I'm going to take a quick pause and welcome everybody to the stream. Whoever's here right now, thank you for being here. Thank you for tuning in. My name is Cicely. I am well known as, I'm known as that Cuban girl on here. And this is the feature show Own It. This show happens every Tuesday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. And today I have two amazing guests, and we're now speaking with my second guest, XOXO Mama. She has a name change right now. And the topic of the day is balancing streaming with real life because I don't know, I just felt that this was a very needed topic, and even I need to learn more about this, right? So, how do you balance XOXO Mama everything?
I am very good with time management. I write everything down on my computer or type everything down on my computer. I have a board that has my whole schedule on it between streaming, between events for the kids. Um, and I save all my messages like of people that I have things planned for so that I don't miss anything.
Wow, and that's something I need to learn. See, that's the thing. I'm not a technological inclined person when it comes to Excel and documents and keeping things on your computer. I do write notes on my phone, but I'm really old school. Like I have my entire show in notebooks, which I don't know is what makes me comfortable, right? But I feel like when it comes to time management, I don't know, like how do you keep yourself accountable?
I have a best friend for that. She holds me very accountable for most of everything. She's the CEO of my family. Her and I talk on a daily basis, if not more. We're able to communicate. She calls me to help me check on the girls. She makes sure if there's any events coming up, if I haven't thought about it, I try to write everything down. She'll remind me. I do the same for her. I also remind her of events and stuff coming up so we don't miss anything.
Is this her on here?
That's her.
That's really funny. She was here last show on the in the comments, and I appreciate you guys coming back and supporting. But yeah, no, I love that see, I am such a, despite of what people may think about me, and there's a word for this, but I forgot it. I am an extrovert, but I'm also a really big introvert. So if I'm not at events or working or something, I am like just spending time alone. So for me, it's like I don't really have anyone keeping me accountable except for myself. And that gets really, really hard sometimes.
Mhm. Yeah,
So
we talk on a daily basis. Most of me and my family talk on a daily basis on the app. If it's not, we're in one of each other's streams. We're on IG having some kind of communication with one another. We do not go a day without checking on one another at all.
that's amazing. And did you meet her here on the app?
I did, and we met in person for the first time at Live Fest last year. So we're locked in now. She can't go nowhere. She can't get rid of me.
Oh, I love that. That's amazing. That's amazing. I love that. Anything else that you want to share with us? Any tips you want to give people on here?
Um, Take one day at a time. Sometimes some days may be a little tougher than others, but it is a lot easier when you surround yourself with people in your circle that you can trust. Um, Sometimes it gets a little lonely as a single parent, but my friends and my family, well, I consider my family UW, they definitely keep me afloat sometimes when I might be having some really bad days, especially with two kids with disability. It tends to get a little lonely because I don't have no family or friends where I live. They're hours away. So they definitely keep me afloat mentally.
Okay, I love that because I can't even imagine how difficult it must be to balance everything and get things done. And I personally don't know how streamers do it when they're parents or single parents or I mean, I have so much admiration for all of you that have so much responsibility and still show up on the streams. So my respects to you. Everybody go favorite XOXO Mama. Go show her some love. Do you have a show that you want to shout out or anything coming up?
So I actually am one of those that are in the background. So I admin for 3 shows. I admin for Donna Cook show on POF on Monday nights at 7 p.m. It's called Bonnet Therapy Sessions and Confessions. I admin for Kauai, who has a show on Meet Me. It's on Monday nights called Gen Wars. It's a generational trivia. It's at 10 p.m. Eastern. I also admin for her on the POF side. She has a streamer feud on Wednesday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern. Um, I have I do my own show on, it's not featured, but it's Pajamas and Game Night on Saturday nights on Meet Me. And it's at 9 p.m. Eastern. We have all of the UW family is usually there. We like to have a good time and just talk about certain discussions. We play different games. It gets wild in there sometimes, so just be cautious. um, and then I'm hosting my first auction coming up on March 23rd. Because I'm trying to get myself spread and I'm an introvert, so I'm a homebody. This app is my one way to kind of escape from my little life here. So I'm trying to get out there and get my name out there and just kind of creep up where I can. So
And I just want to say something before you go, because you've mentioned kind of like escape my little life. I just want to tell you that your life, it's far from little. Like
oh
you're
yeah.
even, you might be in a small town. I don't know where you are, but please, like your energy and your spirit, you're bigger than life. And I really have respect and admiration for the way that you handle your life and everything you're doing. So thank you for sharing your
Thank you
beautiful
so
energy and
much.
your story today.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Of course. And I would love to bring you back at the end if
Okay.
you're around.
Yeah, I'll be
Okay.
around.
I'll see you soon. You, you guys, that was so amazing. Welcome to Own It. If you're just tuning in, I just saw my BFF tune in right now. Big shout out to my friend a legend whose name right now is, what is his name right now? Hold on, Mojo Jojo. That's legend, everybody. Featured show host as well on Mondays. Epicted, check it out. So shout out to you. And if you're just tuning in, welcome. This is Own It. This is a feature show that happens here exclusively on the live streaming community of Meet Me every Tuesday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time or 2 p.m. Pacific Time if you're on the West Coast like me. This show is the show in which you and I learn to be the best versions of ourselves. And how do we do that? Through owning the uniqueness of who we are, through owning who we are, through owning our positive aspects and our not so positive aspects, because everything is entirely part of life. Nothing is far from magical, in my opinion, and none of us are perfect. So this is the show in which we share our stories, because I do believe that everyone has a story worth sharing. Doesn't matter, I always say, it doesn't matter who you are, what you do, whatever. We all have a story worth sharing, and we can all learn from each other. I know I learn from you guys all the time. So before we get the show continued, I do want to give shout outs to people in here that have supported the show. Even if you're just tuning in and you're just watching, kudos to you. I appreciate you, the hearts, the favorites. Just thank you for being here and for watching, because future shows or streams altogether would not be the same without people watching. So thank you for pushing the show and being here. Today, I also want to give a shout out to the Uwu family. I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly. I met them last week. They're a positive gang of of amazing women that are here, that support each other, and you guys are amazing. So shout out to you all. Thank you for being part of the show. And another special shout out right now, gosh, so many people that have tuned into the show today, especially unexpectedly, is to Zach. I know he's not here anymore, but Zach literally pulled up earlier today, which is a big surprise. And now I want to do the shout outs to the top gifters of the stream as well, just to say thank you. I'm gonna start with number 5, which is Uwu's Gary's Little Spoon. Thank you. Number 4, Mischievous Little Beep. Thank you. Number 3 is Mischievous. Number 2, Zach. And number 1, Bulldog, who was also my first guest of the day today. He had to go because he was on his work break, but I appreciate him not canceling and being here. We had an amazing conversation. So you guys, we do have a few more minutes left in our featured hour, but before we continue, I do want to give the tip of the day. And I'm not going to give you, well, I guess I could give you a tip when it comes to balancing your streams. However, like I've said before, I'm not the best at balancing my personal streams and my personal time, but I'm really good at balancing my Tuesday streams. This stream, I rarely miss this stream because it's the show. And so that's also one of my, it's not the one I have written down, but that is part of the tip that I can give you today, is find a way to stay accountable. So like for me, the reason I'm able to stay accountable for this show in particular, for this hour, is because I have to, right? So I'm accountable for it because I know that it's a featured hour, that I have to show up, that you guys are expecting it. So find something or someone who keeps you accountable. That would be the bonus tip. But the tip that I actually had for you today is simply find something that helps you be balanced in your life. And for me, in particular, is what I did today. I was really, really craving connecting. For me, nature was really important. I love nature. A lot of people might think it's silly if I don't know. For me, I love nature. I love connecting to trees. I'm a total tree hugger, and this is gonna sound really hippie and really out there, but I share what I do and what works for me, and I just feel extreme peace when I'm around nature. And for me, when it comes to, being in nature, grounding myself, which I've talked about many times on here, being barefoot on the grass, on the beach, on the sand, in the water, sounds really silly and simple, but for me, at least, it works. And I really, really, really advise it for other people as well. So if you've never tried it on a day where you feel really stressed, or you don't even have to feel stressed, if it's just a day where you feel great, that also works, right? Because it enhances your energy, it enhances everything. If you think about it, nature is perfect. Nature is the only thing that is perfect. It's more perfect than human. I mean, humans are not perfect, but nature is perfect, right? It is perfectly created. So it gives me mental reset. Yes, it gives a total mental reset. And I would definitely advise it, especially if you're not a meditator. If you're not a meditator, just go on a walk in nature. Like, I keep looking out my window because I have a whole bunch of trees outside my window. It's a beautiful day in California today, which I'm really appreciating, because this year has been raining in California more than ever has, and I'm over it, you guys. I'm ready for the sunshine that we have today. So that's why I keep like looking out my window at the trees. But that's what I really, really, really reset my energy. I recharged. And that gives me balance. Going back to the topic, right? It brings me balance. So I recommend it for anyone out there. Saludos. So, yeah, that was actually my biggest tip today. My biggest tip in finding balance was that do something that resets your spirit, and then find something or someone that keeps you accountable, and then find balance. And then I'm going to remind you again of the quote: there's no such thing as work life balance, because it is all life. The balance has to be within you. So that's why a lot of times when I share things with you guys are mostly things that have to do with your inner spirit, because I believe that your inner spirit, when it's balanced, it really, 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 really shows outside. And that is what's going to help you. Thank you. It's going to help you remain balanced and all the things. Appreciate you. So, you guys, thank you for being here. We're almost reaching the end of the featured hour. But before we do that, I'm going to name my second. Well, I'll do it at the end. I'll do that at the end, actually. I'm going to invite my guest back to the guest box for final thoughts, and because I need to ask her a question. I usually invite both my guests to the chat box, but Bulldog had to go back to work, which I really appreciated that he still showed up and was here. And before I invite her back in the box, I want to say thank you for all the support. I see it all. I see it all. I see it all. I appreciate you guys so, so, so much, and your energy and just being here and supporting the show. So let me invite back XOXO to the chat box for final thoughts. Hello. We usually do this with both my guests, but it's okay. Usually something, this already because you were here last show. I like asking my guests at the end of the show, what is one thing that they can own about themselves that have helped them in their journey?
Just knowing that my family tells me all the time, like, I may not always be great, but own when I am great, because not everybody can see it, but I can show them as much as I possibly can. Not everybody's going to be for me. But those that are for me, I know are the people that are always going to be genuine. And just focus on those folks that are in my circle, because that is what's going to keep me going.
I love that. Thank you for sharing that, because yeah, you're right. A lot of times when we talk about owning something, our first thought could be like going into the negatives, but we also have to own when we're being great, because there's so much greatness in us. And I love that. I love that. What would you say to someone on here that might be struggling maybe with similar circumstances as you, but unlike you, maybe they're feeling down about it, or they don't really know, or maybe they're not streamers, but they're part of the audience and they're struggling? What would you say to those people?
One thing that I've had to since starting to stream is have a routine. I do well with routines. It's something that organizes me. My kids know, like, I take them to school. I get up in the mornings, take them to school. I work. I come home after I've picked them up. They know dinner's going to be done. They go off and do their own thing. I stream. When I'm streaming, we don't bother. But they're always kids, so they're always mom, mom, mom. So they know, like, if I say, like, I need you to take a few minutes, give me a few minutes, that's what I do. So routine is key for me. Sometimes the routine is offset, but that's how they stay on track too, is with routine.
What sign are you?
I'm a Taurus.
I'm a Taurus too. I asked you because I had a feeling. Wait, when's your birthday?
May the 15th.
That's my birthday.
That's wild.
That's my birthday. May 15th is my birthday. Oh my gosh.
That is wild.
I only know one other person whose birthday is May 15th, and it's a guy, like ever.
Yeah, I've known
Whoa.
one other person that was one of my patients, and that's the only time I've ever met anybody that has the same birthday. Yeah, and King Diablo, who was actually here last week with us, he was Unicorn King then. His is the 14th, so
Oh my gosh, you guys. Well, that's amazing. It's so nice to meet other tourists. I love that. Look at that. So many tourists. The reason I asked you is because you were talking about routines, and I was like, yeah, she sounds like a tourist. I'm a creature of habit as well and routines. But I don't know if you know about astrology, but my moon is in Aquarius, and I think that really is weird. Like, I'm a Taurus and I'm very earthy and routine driven. However, my Aquarius makes me really crazy and airy and out there.
facts.
So, my chart is all over.
Yeah, so
Well, thank you so much for
thank you
being
so
here.
much.
I loved having you as a guest today. I want to invite everyone to favorite XOXO Mama. Check out her streams, give her love, you guys. And do you have a stream schedule?
I do. So I stream 7 days a week, but Monday through Friday, I usually stream from like 7 p.m. till around midnight, because that's when my kids are down. So it's easier to stream when they're asleep. Um, and then of course I do my pajamas and games on Saturday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern. That's every week. It's the one time that I get with all most of my family are able to attend, so we all have that good time. People get to come in and know us. They get to get new faves. What else? The shows that I admin for, that has been something I've done since my best friend has had a featured show. Um, and then of course, like, I have my auction coming up. I'm in a couple auctions. I'm in my first battle coming up on April the 12th through the 15th. I just like to stay very involved in the app because I meet a lot of people, and some people are not always your people, but I've kind of learned like who my people are, and I love meeting new people. So people are always welcome to my stream. Um, I prefer to people to read the room when they come in the stream, because sometimes it might be like serious conversation. Sometimes we might all be trolling in my stream, but we just like to have a good time. We like to keep the energy positive, no negativity in my stream, because we have a lot of people that come in just for a safe space, and that's what I try to create in my stream.
I love that. Well, thank you so much,
Thank you.
XOXO. I appreciate you being here, and you and the Uwu community. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yeah, we beat AYP yesterday. Let me just state on ePicted, we coming back for the championship. So I hope that he is ready to see us win, because we going all the way to the end.
Oh, I love that. All right, my love. Well, I'll see you
Thank
later.
you.
Thank you for being part of the show. And you guys, that was amazing. I had such a good time. Thank you, thank you, thank you for showing up and being here. Before I go, as promised, I am going to be making someone else the new bouncer. Because, I made Bulldog the bouncer because, he is number one, but also he just shows so much support. But I just want to make someone else the new bouncer because I just feel grateful. So it's going to go to my number two, which is Daddy King. Is that Diablo? Is that it? So Daddy King